Oh, hey there. Welcome to Tea in Space. My name's Tom, and this is Space. What's new? What's old? What's happening right now? Well, right now I'm at the park. I went for a bike ride this morning, and now it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Watched a little news today, about 5-10 minutes without the sound on. Looks like Portland, Oregon is the focus of a lot of attention. 57 straight days of protest because the federal government sent the military in. Military police. Well, in Canada here, we've always had military police in our communities and towns called the RCMP. Military. Is this a good thing? Do you think sending in federal agents into your cities and towns is a good thing? The people that made these decisions, did they think this through proper? So, what you're doing is you're putting citizens of your country in a situation where now they're at war with the people that they were protecting overseas. Now they're at war with everybody. So you have all these militia groups rising up, taking up arms. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how that's all going to go down. A bunch of people with guns with differing views and all of them thinking that they're right. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's what they're going for, is absolute power. You question anything, they can come into your home and shoot you. Right? Is this a thing now? Yeah, it was one thing when they were doing it in the parks. It's another thing when they can actually come into your home. In Canada, the RCMP have done that a few times recently and shot dead somebody in their own home for stupid reasons. So should the federal government be in our towns and cities in Canada? Is that something we all agree on? I wonder if everybody knew the information that I knew, or the information that people much smarter than I know. I wonder if they knew what they know, if they would change their minds, if they felt at this time the RCMP is actually working on their behalf. Anybody who thinks this is, I believe, ignorant. It's not like there aren't RCMP officers out there that are trying to do the best that they can with the tools that they have and the system that they're working in. But at one point, you got to question, If it's not working, if the system cannot be changed, if now the organization that I work for is a part of the problem, what do? Are you going to hold the people accountable for the brutal actions that they have taken? Are you going to be the one that stands up for your community or for the community? It's most likely not your community. You're probably not from here if you're the RCMP, are you? You're probably from somewhere else, some other town, some other city, so you don't know what's going on here. You don't know the people, obviously. You beat the shit out of me. I've been here for 18 years, and I was sitting in a park, and 6 RCMP officers beat the shit out of me 2.5 months ago. And they tortured me. There was nothing short of torture involved in my story, and it's fully documented. There's no other side. There's no other story. I've not been charged with anything, but this can happen in the park, right across the street from where you live. Fun. Well, it's not happening now. See, my town's a bit of a tourist town, right? So this park normally has nobody in it. It's nice to have kids playing stuff, and I quite like it, actually. Some people over there, but normally this park is fairly empty. But down by the beach, it's packed. And the RCMP presence is almost non-existent now. Now that all the people are here, now everybody's drinking and on the street and all that, their presence isn't here. Why? Where are all those bylaw officers that were handing out all those tickets before the tourists came? Where are those bylaw officers that sat and watched while I was beaten and tortured by the RCMP? 2 of them. I'm here to tell you that the system's corrupt, beyond repair. Not because of my incident, but because of all the research that I've done pre-incident. Oh, sure, you do research, do you, Tom? Yep, I do. It's fully documented. So, what now? Well, Walter, he's a lawyer, and I don't know exactly where he's from. Gave me some advice on who to contact. It's really hard to contact anybody in person. We should be able to contact people in person in regards to these situations as opposed to filling out forms. All the forms have been filled out, right? They got documentation on their end. Love to hear their story. Love to hear it. Love to see all the video footage of me in a prison for 10 hours with no food, no water, naked half the time, bleeding, internally bleeding, coughing up blood, concussion. No representation. So, the police, they came from there, and these bushes were half the size that they are now, but I was sitting right in there. Broad daylight. Bold move. Bold fucking move. Kind of got to ask yourself, why would they be so upset with somebody like me? Well, you'd have to ask them. I'd like to hear their story. Could be a number of things, eh? I'm a real shit disturber. Sitting in the park, gardening. You got to nip these cases in the bud. Good thing that they did all their due diligence and, really looked into the situation before they acted. How many police officers does it take to put cuffs on one man? And why were they doing it in the first place? Why were they there in the first place? Who called it in? Why did the police or the bylaw officers, why did they have such trouble communicating with their words that they had to phone the RCMP to talk to me? Talk to me. I was hoping that they would just keep talking. I'm not talking to them. They've already made up their mind. Nice day today. Got a ball. You want the ball? There you go. You're welcome. Well, here we are. What's that? Can you see that? Signs on our sidewalk saying we have to be 2 meters apart. Today, as I was biking, we have a farmer's market. It's a pretty good farmer's market on Main Street. I usually have them on Saturdays. Should be going all week long. Look at that, how stupid this is. 2 meters apart, we need to be told this. Incredible. Anyways, the farmer's market, there was a fucking lineup for the farmer's market on the other side of the street. And it was all taped off. It's incredible. Thank you. It's incredible what people will put up with. I wouldn't go to the market if I had to fucking wait in line for it. You should have seen this line. It was outrageous. Who's responsible for counting all these people and saying, okay, let the next ones in? This thing goes for 4 or 5 blocks. How do you know? And what are they all afraid of? They're killing all the businesses. The government's doing it. It's not the virus. Don't let anybody tell you that it's because of the virus that the whole economy, the whole world economy shut down. Don't let anybody say, well, that's because it was because of the virus and we had to, no. It was the fact that we were collectively so ignorant that we allowed things to get to a point where the way we do business is not sustainable. Greed. Who gets the most? That's mine. Don't touch it. Mine. I got news for you. Nothing's yours. It's all yours. It's not quite like this. We can get into that later. Can't bring it with you. That's what I know. What's the most important thing that we have to be concerned about, or that we should focus on this planet while we're here? What's important? Relationships. Building those. How do you do that? Well, compassion, love, honesty, trust. Not a lot of that going around. In our governments, in our businesses. Oh, that's nice. It was hot. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching a train wreck. And everybody on the train is really not aware of the bridge that is out. Just a few feet away. Igloo's on fire. What does that mean? Inside joke. Community is really important right now. It always has been, but especially now. We have these huge entities that we've allowed to rule over us forever, like government, federal government, provincial government, municipal government, police, tax revenue. The whole thing's a lark. It's a farce. It's half a life. Our focus is on all the wrong things. Go to work, get a paycheck, pay your bills, maybe go on vacation. Once, twice a year. This is fucking paradise and we're wasting it. We're wasting it on half a life. Most of us aren't living whole lives. Partial lives. And we think the stuff that we have is going to satisfy us, and it never does. But we keep hoarding it. We keep finding more importance in things that aren't important. We fear losing it. Fear is a construct of the mind. It only resides in the mind. And it's irrational. We're not talking about the old part of your brain which keeps you from danger. No, this is the new part of the brain that is irrational, has become even more irrational as time progresses. And the collective mind isn't really thinking straight. Right now it's sick. This is not yours. It's ours. We're all connected. I'm getting tired of that expression. I gotta express it maybe differently. We're all one. If we realized we were all one, this would be paradise. We would start treating each other as we would want to be treated. Everybody. Without condition. The RCMP have to get out of our cities and towns. They need to leave. We need to do something different. And we should start in our own town, Penticton. There's no reason why we can't do something different in our town, in our city. But I'm not sure everybody wants that. This town is a peculiar town. It's not Portland. It's different. Bottom line, it's a tourist town and it's a retirement town. People's funds are drying up. Businesses are going under. It's getting increasingly harder to get ahead economically. And there's so much emphasis placed on how well you're doing economically that people judge each other based on how much they have or what they do for a living. How much money do you make? Oh, that's none of your business. Oh yeah, sorry buddy. There, yeah, I know those. Interesting times we live in. Ooh. So, final thoughts. Final thoughts to my friends and my family. I'm not here to whine and complain about my personal situations, the events that have happened recently. I'm not here to complain about this, but I still do need to be honest with myself and you and how it's affected me and how it's affecting everybody that this has happened to and the deaf ears that it falls on. Because it would seem that most of us just don't care too much about the other until it happens to them, and then they say, well, I didn't care too much then, so why would anybody care about me now? So they hide in their rooms or their houses. and live out the rest of their days without the support that we all should have. Did that make sense? Some of it might. Some of it might. Bye.